Hi, I'm Lady Lex UK, and in 5 Years of Dreams this week, we are looking at 3D platformers. I've defined this as platformers set in 3D worlds where you can move around in any axis in third person. And in order to make one of these, there are lots of kits in the Dreamverse, some of them made by Media Molecule, some by other people. The one that I'm going to concentrate and show off today is this one by Mitamac. This is the Ultimate Platformer Kit. He created this quite a while ago now. Let me just check the date. Lots of iteration changes. End of 2021. And it's been improved, and it's got to the point here where it's really very useful indeed. Okay, so you have a character model. Now he's modeled this. You obviously will be adapting this, changing this to something that you want, put some clothes on him, a face, that sort of thing. I'll show you in this tutorial how to do that without any sculpting experience or talent. And there's various things in here, lots of different settings. This puppet can jump on little things like that. He can swim. Jump on ledges. Can I jump to that ledge? Double jump. Slide down the walls. He can jump on ledges like that. Lots of things he can do, and all the instructions are inside that there's a book there. It's got some information in it. Look, there's lots of information here. And there's also information here, things like this. Beams require scenery and target labels, things like this. So you can experiment with this. Just pop it in your world. You can use some of the props that he's created here. Some of these platforms for making your own levels, etc. So there's a lot in here. I have used this to make my own little platforming game, and this is this one here. This took me a couple of hours to make, and then say another hour to refine and fix bugs and all sorts of things like that. So I've used the Ancient Times Town set. So let's have a look at it. Okay, so I've got my instructions what I need to do. Here's my character model. As you can see, it's been changed up a bit. So I've got this world. I put some platforms in. There's a beam up there. I've used some of his surfaces. This is the slippery surface. I've also put some water in, so you can see the swimming action. And there's a collectible. And so the purpose of this game is to collect 8 hand tokens. Now, as you can see in the top right hand corner, we've got 1. So let's go back into the water and hunt down those tokens. They are, there's little spinning hands. So that's 1. There's 1 up there. So he can ledge grab. So that's 2. There's another 1. And up here. That's 4. Whoop! I've fallen in the water. That's the whole purpose of the slippery thing. That's 5. Now there was a platforming sequence back over here. There we go. And we're walking on a beam. That's 7, and then my final one is on this rooftop. And if I'm careful enough, don't slide off. There we go. I've got my 8. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of the game. And you would put a link to something would open up, and you get to the next screen, or that would be the end of the game, and you'd finish. But that's it. That's my game. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to learn how to make collectible objects, how to use the platformer's settings, the Ultimate Platformer Kit settings, to create animations within him. And I'm also going to show you how to very quickly alter the puppet to make it look completely different and your own, without any experience of sculpting and things like that. Right, so first things first, let's do our puppet. Here is my puppet. There he is, look. I think he looks quite splendid. I'm rather pleased with him. And I didn't really need any sculpting experience whatsoever in order to make him either. And I respect you're thinking, well, I don't believe you. Let's try making him again. Okay, so first of all, I need my hero puppet. I put a link to it in here, but you can search for that. Ultimate Platformer Kit Hero Base. Here he is. And what I did is I went into the Dreamverse and I searched for Asian. And I found this lovely puppet here. Plonked him down. And I scoped into his head. Well, that was his hair. There's his head. Copied that. And, whoops. Unscoped him. So L1 and circle to unscope him. I deleted the main one. Then go into this and take off movable and also all the collides. And I can take his head, scope into the head of my puppet and stick him on. There he is. His head's a little big. We'll just reduce it down a bit. Now, if you find that the blue leaks out a bit, just scope into that and just reduce it down a bit. There we go. We'll just turn him off. So I'll turn his power off. And here we are. Here's my puppet. Okay. So I didn't need any sculpting experience. I just put somebody else's head on my body. And then you'll want to paint him up. So we go into sculpt mode. I'm going to choose black. Spray paint. And you just select all the areas that you want to paint black. go. And then I'll pick some sort of flesh tone. Actually, what's better is if you go into colours, colour picker, and then pick a flesh tone from his face. So it all matches. And you've got to select all these little bits. Now the hands have got lots of joints. So there's... Oh, come on. There we go. So there we have a little man. And easy done. I didn't need any sculpting. Oh, got his neck. Easy done. No problem. And now we've got a little model all ready to go. Here we go. Now let me just put show and hide back on so I can see my original model. There you go. There you can see. And you can see all these blue bits and everything. Don't touch those. Don't fiddle about with those. Those are necessary for the puppet to work. So be careful about touching these bits. Just model on the bits that you can visibly see, not these hidden blue bits. They're very important. You must leave those alone. Okay, so I'll use this new puppet, shall I? So we will delete that puppet. And there's my new puppet. There he is. Splendid. Now I'm going to make sure that the grab point is on my puppet, which it is, which is good. You don't want it to be somewhere else. So I've got a puppet now, and I'm going to create in this as well. I'm going to do the other basic bits. I'm going to do my collectible and my counter. So next thing to do then is we'll go into sculpt. No, we'll go into search mode. And I'm going to Ancient Times Kit. And I'm going to grab an orange handprint. Let's just put that in. Now you can see that this collectible is a little bit big for our puppet. That's why it's a good idea to do these in the same place. So you get a sense of size. So 50% is about right. Now I want this to spin. So I'm going to make sure it's vertical. Now you would think all I would need to do is to put a rotator on this and it will spin. Well, let's try it and see what happens. So we've got a rotator. I'm going to stamp that onto my hand. Let's turn that on. And first of all, I'm spinning in the wrong direction. In order to get the rotator to be vertical, and you know it's vertical, is to put grid snap on. So when you grab the handle and do that, it's definitely vertical. Then turn grid snap off. You don't want that on. So there we go. There is our rotator rotating. Now, you cannot change the center of rotation on a rotator when it's placed. What it does is it finds the a center point on... It's something to do with the way that the object is created. The last object in, or the first object shape in, I think it's probably the first shape in, is the center of gravity. And as you can see here, with this particular one, it's not revolving around itself. It's revolving around a point just outside itself. So it does revolve, but not the way I want it to. So some objects that you're going to have as collectibles, you're going to have a real big problem with this. And this is how you fix it. Let's delete our rotator. I'm going to put in a box. So we'll go into sculpt mode. I like to make all my invisible objects bright red. And we're just going to make a box. It's going to be slightly smaller than that so that I can see it. And I'm just going to pop that down. Okay, so we want our box and our hand to be exactly in the center. Well, this needs to be perfectly vertical and exactly in the center. Unfortunately, this particular painting is a little bit squiffy and it's a bit hard to do, but there we go. So I'm going to scope those together, scope out, and there we have my hand inside a box. And then I'm going to put a microchip on the box, stamp it on the sides, so that's L1 and X onto the side of that. You can change the microchip color if you want, but there we go. Then we're going to put our rotator on, back with the grid snap. So he puts it in upside down, I don't know why. There we go, like that. So there's our rotator rotating. There it is, there it goes. And we need to scope into the box. So it says sculpture, and we want to go into physical properties and make it invisible. Now I've got this on, so you can see, there we go. Our box is invisible. We'll close down that. And now we have a rotating about itself. There we go. You can see. Lovely. I also want to scope into the hand. There we go. Orange hand print, not that one. And I'm going to make it glow. But I don't want it to light up the environment. It's entirely up to you how you do this. I like my collectibles to be very obvious. Right, so there we go. There is a collectible. I'm going to turn preview invisibility on, so we've got the whole box. It makes it much easier, trust me. Okay, so we've got our collectible here. Now we need to put some information into this chip. Right, so now we're going to put some logic inside this microchip for the collectible. Let's get rid of this grid snap. I hate grid snap. Right, okay. First things first, the character needs to be able to identify the collectible. So the first thing we're going to do is put a tag inside here. And we're going to call that collect. Like so. Now, Mitamak has done his collectibles in the opposite direction. So he's got, in his collectibles, he's got a trigger zone that detects the player. I don't think this is particularly efficient because it means you've got hundreds of trigger zones all over the place, depending how many collectibles you've got. I think it's much better to have a tag in the collectible and the trigger zone in the puppet. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go into my puppet, pull up my puppet logic. I'm going to go into the controller logic, and down in the bottom corner here, there's a lot of lovely space. So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put a detector in, trigger zone. It's going to look for a tag. And if you go down on the D-pad in this box, it will show you all the tags. There it is, collect. That's what we want. And that's it. That's all you have to do to that puppet. Except, actually, now that I've done it, let's go into the trigger zone and make this a bit smaller, because that's quite a large trigger zone. We want him to be able to get quite close to the collectible before it activates. That's about right. So there we go. Done. Puppet done. That can be closed down. So when the trigger zone activates this tag, we want it to do various things. First thing I want it to do is to set off a little timer. Now this is going to help us with destroying the object. So when you collect it, we want it to be destroyed from the world. And if I was to destroy it straight away, then all the other things that I've got in here might not activate. So the best thing to do is to put a little timer in. I'll give it 0.2 seconds before the object is destroyed. And then we'll do everything else off of the detection. But that is just a split second later so that all of the detection stuff can happen. Right, so what do I want to happen when we collect? Well, I want a variable. And we're going to put that in its own microchip. So there's our microchip. Actually, let's... What happened to my chip? Okay, let me do this. Okay, make sure you've got X-ray on. Sometimes these things disappear. Let's get rid of that. Right, we'll create a microchip. We don't want it to be part of the collectible. Make sure it's separate. So L1 and circle until you get out of it. Microchip. I'm going to put a variable in here. I'm going to call that variable hands. That's what we're going to be collecting. And I'm also going to put in a number displayer. Link that current value to the number range. There it is there. And I'm going to move that over in the top right hand corner. And you can put some text over there saying hands and decorate this up, make this look nice. But we're doing it very basic today. Right, okay, so there is our variable and it's our microchip. And I'm going to call this counter. And you can change the color of this so that it stands out. Let me just, we'll make it purple. And it's a counter, so have we got a number thingy here somewhere? No. What would be the best thing? Custom icon. Little flag. That'll do. Okay, so there is our counter. And so in here we need a variable modifier. So when we detect, going into the power of our variable modifier, when we detect the collectible, we want, oh, there it is, hands. Variable name hands. We're going to add L1 and square 1. Okay, so we're going to add 1. We're going to do it when powered on. And that's going to add 1 to our counter over here. What else do we want? Well, we want some sort of special effect to happen. So I'll just go into here. There's no special effects specific to the Ancient Times kit, so I'll come out of there. And I'm going to search for pickup. There's a special effect by Medium Molecule called pickup. You can create your own special effects. I'm not going to go into how you do that here. Just pop that down. Okay. And we're going to need an emitter. So we go into here, put an emitter down. And that's going to power on when our tag is activated. So here's our emitter. And we're going to emit this effect here. So we'll pick this up and we'll make it a bit smaller because it's a bit big. And we'll place that on top of our box, like so. We don't want it to move, so we're going to put that at 0, so it will just place itself there. We want it to happen once. We want it to emit 1. And we want the emitted object lifetime to be about 0.3 seconds, just a little bit longer than that destroyer there. There we go. So once it's emitted, the object will be destroyed before this is finished doing its lifetime thing. We also want a sound effect, so let's go into sound effects. Sound effects. Let's try pickup. See what we get. There's that. There was a really nice one in here somewhere. There we are. British boats pickup. That's quite nice. So we're going to put that in. Now, there's other sound effects in here that are that might not be a sound effect. Like that. They might be a timeline. The effect is exactly the same. You just put it into the power socket. So we're winding that up and put that into the power socket. To make sure this will play, I'm just going to elongate that so that it will definitely play before this thing is destroyed. And that's it. There we go. There is our collectible logic, and that's inside our collectible. Let's try it out. There we go. Works fine. Notice the counter went up, the special effect happened, everything worked, which is excellent. Okay, so this is our basic kit for our platformer, and you made this. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to clone. Hang on, where do I go? Here. Clone. Not the microchip. I always do this. Clone. There. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for my game, I'm going to need 8 of these. So I'll just clone them all up now. So now we're going to check again to see where the grab point is. And the grab point is here in amongst the middle of it all. That should be good. Okay, so that is our little starter kit. So I'm going to save that. It says UBK Samurai. That doesn't matter. There we go. There's our little starter kit. I've lost my little samurai in my game now, unless I don't update that one, which is fine. Right, okay, we're going to start. I might build another one anyway. So now we need to start creating. Now, instead of going into a new element or scene, because I want to use that old town thing, I'm going to have to go into dream shaping and type in ancient times. And there it is there. Ancient times town. There. So we're going to remix this. And don't have to worry about this because we're going to delete RTO, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go in. Try and find the town. Where is it? Oh, goodness me. There we go. So we're into town. We can delete RTO. We don't need her. Now, this set is very busy. There's a lot in here. It comes with a camera pan down from the ceiling down. I quite like that. I'm going to keep that, so that's going to stay. And it's also got some music over here. Right, I'm going to put these together so I can see where they are right at the beginning. Makes it easier to find everything. You could even make a one big chip that's got all the starter stuff in, but there we go. We've got our music and our camera pan. Now, the thing about this particular set, it wasn't, I don't know, they didn't design it to be completely sealed. So we need to make sure that our player cannot get out of the set. We want it all sealed up. So, for example, here, that looks okay. okay. What about this over here? Nope, this is completely open. Look, you can see that your player can get out here. So what we'll do, and we did this for the first person shooter thing as well. Make yourself a nice red brick. And there we go. Just make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So here is our brick. I'm going to put that down. And that's going to block off this. So our player can't go any further than that and cannot fall out. You could also put solid things in, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to go into my sculpture and I'm going to make that invisible. And so that I can now see it, I'm going to put that on. And you'll notice all of these particle effects. Look at all of this. This uses up quite a lot of memory, so let's just delete them because I don't really want them for my game anyway. Right, they are gone. So here is my invisible wall. So I can copy that, and anywhere else that I think the player might escape, I can put it in. So there's another one there. Whoops. Do I think my player can escape over here? I think they probably can. Let's just pop that. And you can make this as big as you need to. Like this. Make it huge. There we are. You can't get out there. And I know there's one at the top here. Whoops. That one's a little bit big. Look at the size of that. Let's go back in. Let's grab that one. There's a bit at the top of the stairs over here. And I've dropped my box and I don't know where it is. Where is it? There. As you can see, there's a bit here that I can go out. I don't want him coming out of there. So you shore up all the exits. Make sure that in your design, I mean, when you're designing these things, that's it. You get to the top of the stairs and you can't go any further. There we go. That's brought that. They're invisible, so you still get the effect. And then you come over here and it's like, what's gone on here? For some reason, that's gone. It made it disappeared. I don't understand why, but it's gone. So let's grab a wall. That's not a wall. This is a wall. Trouble is, everything in this level is covered in paint, so sometimes it's really difficult to. Let's just shore this up so the player can't get out. And again, I think I'll grab that. And just to make sure they don't jump up here. There we go. And now they can't get out. Right, so that's that sorted. Lovely. So now I'm going to create a little platformy piece. So I'm going to go into search. And in my collection here, I've put the Ancient Times kit. And I'm going to look in here for something that's platformy. There's a bamboo panel here. This is what I used. Okay, so we want to put some platforms in. And you stagger them like this. So the player can jump up like that. And then we want something to act as a beam. There's a stone floor panel there. And that looks interesting. I made a block, so we'll go like that. And actually, I want it to go up here. So there we go, like that, to get up into this area. Now this is also, there's nothing here, so we're going to need a top for this. So we've got a round stone platform, and that just about fits on the top of there. There we go, sorted. Right, that gives us a little platformy thing to do. And at this point, I think I'm going to place my starter kit. So here is my character model, and I'm going to just plonk him down like so. So let's test this. See, can he jump up there? He can. I've noticed that I've got this in a bit of a position where it's taken out that light. I'll have to move the light. Okay, and then we can jump down here. He's a bit slidey. There we go. That's fine. So that's all in a good position. That's great. Right, so like I said, I need to move this. So let's select that. And if we put that there, does that create another obstacle? Does he have to jump over this? Let's try it. Now he's got double jump on. There we go. And he's on there. That's fine. I think that works fine. I absolutely hate the squeaky shoes of this bottle. So let's alter that. Should have done this when we were in the Puppet Logic. I didn't really run him around, so I didn't realise he made a lot of horrible noises. So this is why I wanted to do it separately and not in here, because this is what happens. Things get inside things. It's really difficult to see stuff. There's so much going on. Right. I think we'll go into the controller logic. And we need to find the sound effects for walking. Let's see, crouch, edge grab, puppet interface. There we go. That's what is that what we want? On ground, into there. Oh, they're all up here. Spin attack, normal punch, uppercut, ground pound, fall damage. Oh. Maybe it's not in here. Oh, it's in there. There it is. Sound effects. Haha. Okay. Right, I don't like the squeaky trainers that character makes. So, how to alter it? Now, this is why it's probably best to do all of your alterations to the puppet outside of your set, because this is the sort of thing that happens. Let's make sure I've got X-ray on. I want to open the Puppet Logic. There we go. The Puppet Logic has gone over there. See, there's a lot going on. It's really awkward. Right, I've opened up the Puppet Logic and the sound effects are in this chip here, this pink one above, the white one. Okay, and the footstep marks is from foot impact. Now we've got snow. We'll leave that alone. It's the squeaky sneakers that I do not like. So let's get rid of that. This squeaky sneaker is a landing impact, so I don't want that either. So get rid of that. I think it was it attached to this node? It was. So this one is attached to this node, and this one was attached to this node. So I'm going to delete them both. I'm going to put a new sound effect in. So we want to get into sound mode. Sound effects. Footstep.
The lap.
So we've got to pick one of these. There's plenty of them. Most of them are pretty much the same. They're robots. That'll do. We'll do that one. Okay, so node, node, and so now I've got a new sound effect, and it doesn't squeak. There we go. Right, now there are some special effects that are available. Let me just close that off for the puppet, for an animation effect. So one of them is for beams. So these two pieces here, I need to label them up for a beam as scenery and target. So I've done that one, but I haven't done that one. So let's play. Fingers crossed. There we go. Now, for walking on a beam then, he puts his hands out. This beam is quite thick. You do it on a much thinner beam. But you can see he's putting his hands out. I've picked rather a thick beam here. So let's make the beam a bit thinner. So we'll delete that one. We'll make this one smaller. Whoops. Ooh. And we just copy and paste it. I'm hoping that this is going to be the right sort of angle for this. You would probably make one single beam. Let's try that. So the way Mr. Mac has built his it double jump for the first one? Yeah, okay. Is that different effects, different animations for... Oh, damn. He fell off. Different special effects for his puppet are controlled by labels. There we go. That's much better. Look at that. It's so cool. Okay, there it is. And up he goes. Excellent. Pleased with that. And there's a squeaky thing when he lands. So there's a fall animation as well if you fall too far. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's just turn the music off for now because it's a little annoying. There we go. Right. So that's the beam done. Now we've also got scenery labels for things that you want him to be able to grab. So I'm just gonna... Oh, I'm trying to delete this on this wall. Oh, I want to delete the wall. There, those. So I'm going to put a single wall grab in here. So again, I'm going to go and search for something to place. What would be a good option here? Engraved floor panel. Let's see if this will work. So we'll put that in there. Now we don't know how high we need to have this. We'll have this a little lower. And about there. And we have to label this up as scenery. Now let's try our puppet. That might be a bit high. Yeah, it's a bit high. Yeah, now sometimes the grab thing on a pre-made object doesn't work. If it's a grouped object, sometimes it genuinely doesn't work. This is a grouped object because it's got this underneath. So let's just get rid of that lot and make this scenery. Sometimes grouped stuff doesn't work. Let's try that. Come on now. Work. There's something about medium molecules. Yeah, there's something about medium molecule stuff. It doesn't want to work. I had this problem before. So I used one of my own creations instead. So anyway, what we're going to do, because I need to demonstrate this working. And like I say, there's something peculiar about medium molecules objects. We're just going to put in, you would decorate this accordingly. Let's try that. Scenery. Oh, it's too low. There we go. So there we go. We got a ledge grab. We'll put a collectible up there. So let's start moving our collectibles then. So we want to make sure these are all loose. So you need to unscope them all. There's one. Scope in. Unscope. I'm going to put one in this nice white area over here. It's just like just demanding something to be there, isn't it? And the scope. We'll put one at the top of these stairs. And I want to put one there. We want them one up here. There we go. Well, let's have him so he has to walk across it a little bit more. I had one on the top of there, but it's a bit hit and miss whether or not you get it. It's how difficult do you want to make it for your player? Scope in, scope out. I'm going to put one here. Scope in, scope out. One at the top of these stairs. And the last one is going to go in our water. Which is going to be over here. So I'm just going to put this on the stairs for now, because we haven't done the water yet. Right, water then. I'm going to scope down. That's going to take away the whole floor up to there, which I think is a little bit too much. I don't want the whole floor. There we go. Take away that. Let's move our sword away and this light thing. There we go. And that one as well. Okay, so I have made a nice big hole. So now I've got to fill that hole, and I'm going to put a nice blue watery bit in. Doesn't have to be too thick. That's about right, because we're gonna make it big. Okay. Actually, let's stretch it. Right. Stretch it that way. Stretch it that way. Stretch it that way. And stretch it that way. There we go. So we've got our blue block. I've got trapped underneath it. Oh no, what happened? It's gone. Oh no, start again. Don't know what happened there. Okay, so stretch it that way and that way. This is why when you're designing your set, you probably won't have any of these issues, because stamp. There we go. Stamp. I forgot to stamp it. That's right. So I'm going to put that down there. Right. So once you've got your water in, you need to label it up as machine for this kit. So there's part of the logic inside the puppet that recognizes that machine means water, and then you need to put in a tag on the surface of the water. Call it surface. That tells it where the surface of the water is. So if we try our puppet in the water, he'll now swim. And he should be able to leap out. Doesn't seem to want to leap out. I didn't have... There we go. There we are. If you're very lucky and you get it at the right height, he'll grab the ledge and leap out. So you can play about with that, the heights, to get that right. I'd like this to look a little bit more like water. So let's just put him back. I'm going to search for water. And there's a really nice stylized water effect. And here it is here. And we need to put that in there. We'll stamp it down. Whoop. There we are. That's a little bit too much water. There we go. And we just need to put that... I think we'll make that a little bit smaller. And then just stick that on there. And then, there we go, he can swim around. Oh, I'm going to have to put some steps in. So, we've got some steps here. So, I'm just going to... they're quite big, these steps. I just like that. There we are. You can walk out. That's much nicer, isn't it? Now I've probably got this so we could probably leap across that gap, but I mean, I just wanted to show off the swimming of it. There we go. That's cool. Quite like that. That looks great. And I moved some of the these fountainy things here into the water, like that, and then just deleted the bowl. I have one there and one over here. Just looked like it was adding water into that, which made it look really quite cool. Okay, so there's that. So we've put in those. We need to put our microchip in the water, so he knows he needs to go in. There it is. So we now need to do our like an end game thing over here. So I'm going to put a microchip in. Okay, so we need a trigger zone. And you can do anything you like here. So when the player he has to stand on the top of that platform. You can change this trigger zone to be a cylinder, and we'll just turn that cylinder up and stick that cylinder on top of this one. Yeah, so he has to step up onto that podium. I haven't done this at all well. It's always awkward in 3D, I find, to try and get things where you want them. Oh, for goodness sake. That'll do. Okay, I then want a keyframe. That is going to turn off the music. So I open up that and turn off the power. Okay, so if you're standing in that, then the music doesn't play. And I want to detect whether or not you're standing in that. I need an AND gate. And I need a calculator. Now, your variable is over here. There we go. So when this value, let's wire it up. When this value into the calculator equals 8, and we're also in that trigger zone, then we can put in, we're going to put in a little bit of animation. So I'm going to put in a timeline. It's going to be playing once. And I'm going to put in a keyframe. I've got the sword here. Okay, there's the sword. And I'm going to lift the sword up and turn it like that. There we go. So the sword will do that. And we're going to have that keyframe keep changes, so it will stay up in the air. And then I'll just put in some text. You win. And you can also put in a NOT gate. So if so put another AND gate down here and say if you're in the detection zone, and this is not 8, then I'm just going to put some text up saying not enough hands. Okay, and if you wanted music playing, I had some stingers playing as well. It's not going to interfere because this keyframe's turning our music off when you get there. So let's try that. Hang on. Let's turn the music back on because I turned it off, didn't I? Because it was annoying. Oh, wrong one. Always do that. There we go. Not enough hands. See? So it just turns the music off. So it won't interfere with any music that you want playing, like dramatic, you've won music or anything like that. So let's go collect our 8 tokens. Personally, I think it's something I've done to this puppet with its big head that's causing that problem there. But it didn't do that on my last one, so I don't quite know what I've done wrong there. That's the trouble with doing tutorials. They never go the same way as when you build it the first time round, when you're trying to demonstrate things. Anyway, there we go. That's 4. There was one over here, wasn't there? Did we get that right? That's 5. Oh gosh, go up there. You won't double jump anymore. What's happened here? Go up there. Oh, there we go. Oh gosh. There we go. Alright, he's on the beam. That's 7. Oh! Did we get that one? We got that one. Where's the 8th one? Got that one, we got that one, got that one. I did put 8 down, didn't I? Oh, it was in here, wasn't it? There it is. So now I've got 8. Oh, that killed him. Don't know why. And there we go. You win. There we are. Simple as that. I say simple. Obviously, that has taken me quite a while. Okay. So there we are. Play about with the kit. There's lots of really interesting animations to be had. Not just the water. You've got... if you label things as scenes and objects, then it gives them a stairs animation. If you label up the terrain as scenery and weapon, you get slow terrain, so you can only walk slowly. So that'd be good for like snow or something like that. And slippery, which you saw in my test there, is scenery and missile. So play about with the kit. There's lots of things in there that I haven't shown you here. There's combat in there, all sorts of things. And like I said, you can amend your character really easily using the Customize Me section and the sliders. So you can change his run speed. Let's just move this up here. Run speed, the jump height, the crouch jump height. There's a crouch on there. Pole jumping, which I didn't put in. Wall jumping. Wall sliding. The stickiness of the balance beam. You can turn double jump on and off. All sorts of things that you can do in here. And just using the sliders, you don't need to know the logic. It's just labeling things up. It's really a really cool kit. I want you to make use of it. If you do, let me know in the comments, and I will give it a good look. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been sort of useful. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in your dreams.